Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Radio Silent Play. Today is Sunday, October 26, 2014, and I am your moderator for today. Let me start off by saying I am not a financial advisor. Please do your own due diligence before trading any stocks or options. Trading stocks and options require lots of risk. Okay, let's just check. Just want to do a microphone check, make sure that all of you guys can hear us. I know we haven't been on since last week, so give me a heads up. Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3. Test. Test. Okay, so some of you guys can hear me. If you guys can't hear me, you guys can dial in. Okay, I will be posting this later on for people that can't hear. Via email, there's the information where you can actually dial in. If you have to, just log out and log. The sound is working, but Junior says that he can hear me, so we're gonna start in a couple. It has. Let me just give a recap. It has been a tougher week. I was away for the latter part of the week last week, so it's a little bit difficult to get traders on. So just want to let everybody know that we are, as scheduled. Okay, we will be on schedule this week. Everything should be back to normal. Okay, pretty much 4 to 5 email updates during the week, and then we'll have the weekend updates. We also will have the SMS and also app triggers. Everything comes up. Okay, so I just want to get traders just updated on our status. Okay, last week was a little bit of a busy week for some of us. So far, the trend has been big boards markets have been bouncing from levels. Okay, and I will go over some option setups, some big boards, go over some small caps, and some of the last days go movement in the OTC markets. So I just want traders to just bear with me. Okay, we are getting back to, and I'm going to start off first with the options. Okay, for traders that do not have an options account or are thinking about getting into options, just send me an email. I'll send you guys some information how to get started. So I think it's going to be very important for traders to actually diversify, especially when you have a lower volume and lower volume, especially in the OTC markets. Okay, so first off with the SPY. Okay, the SPY, if you notice, we closed above that key pivot resistance. If you connect pretty much this low back in June, okay, May, June, up to the pivot low of August and also the pivot low of October, we just closed above it. So now what we want to see is a confirmation above that 196.40 level. Okay, so now what I want traders to understand is you're coming up to key resistance here. Okay, for you short-term traders, okay, any move past this 196.40 level, okay, can mean a scalp level. So you just want to make sure that you keep an eye on the resistance levels. If you come over here and you take a fib retrace from up at the top, okay, to this bottom, okay, we'll say this bottom of the move right here, you're at pretty much resistance here at the 618 resistance at 196.55. So the 196.55 between 196.50 and I also have 196.89. That's where your resistance is going to come up. Okay, so watch that 196. Okay, so I'm gonna post that right here. This is the resistance that you want to kind of keep an eye on. All right, if you break this level 196.90, okay, you will see a test of that 199.22 to 200. Okay, so that's your magic number for you traders. Okay, I know some traders said, okay, I want to talk about scalp trades. Well, this 196.90 level is the level to be scalped. Okay, so I want traders to keep an eye on that 196.90. Right now, if you take a pivot, okay, this pivot high, okay, and you connect that to this bottom over here, okay, I'm looking at that 196, that 61.8% retrace at 196.55. Between 196.55 and 196.90, that's the level that you want to keep an eye on the SPY. Okay, let me just get rid of some of this. Okay, so again, okay, we closed above this key pivot at 195.40, and now our resistance here is at 196.55 to 196.90. Okay, if the markets close on 2 consecutive closes above this 196.50 level, then you will test this 199.20 level. Okay, last week, if you notice, we've had a lot of talks of Ebola outbreaks now in New York. So, you know, it hasn't really affected the markets as I thought it would. But, if, you know, you must take into consideration that the markets bounced really well off that 182 level. Okay, so what you're looking at now is that support over here at that 192.70. Okay, so that's your magic number, that 192.70 and that 196.90 level over here. Okay, so you want, if you start seeing some consolidation here, okay, and a hold above this 192.70 level, okay, you could see a bullish consolidation and a flag pattern. All right, so what we want to look at is this flag pattern here. Okay, if we start getting a flag pattern consolidation, okay, this is the levels that you want to see some consolidation above. Right now, you're at resistance right now. So that 196.90, again, is going to be that scalp. If you guys want to scalp that 196.90 for a quick scalp down to the 195.50 level, you can do that for $1. Okay. At the Facebook, it's right at resistance. I gave this out last week. It did have a little bit of a pullback. You have earnings into next week, so those that want to trade the Facebook, I would just recommend that you guys do it for a scalp. Okay. Yet last week we saw a high of 80.80, and then it came down to 79.30. So it did give an opportunity to scalp that trade on the Facebook. All right. If we look at the metals markets right now, okay, you got a little bit of a bottom forming here. Okay, so you got a little bit of a wedge here. So what we're looking for is that break above this level right here at the 1670 level. Okay, if it does, then we're going to test that 1750 level. Okay, I want traders to keep an eye on the silver, SLV, and the GLD. I believe that we could be having or setting up a bottom here. All right, I want guys to also, if you guys want to look into getting into the GDX, I was going to post this, but I'm waiting. I'm looking for any pullbacks down to that 1990 level. Okay, that'll be your buy zone here. Okay, so I'm just looking for any pullback down to this 1990 level. If it does get down to 1990, just be aware. I probably most likely will send out that trigger. All right. So I want traders to keep an eye on the metals. All right. That's about it for that. Now I'm going to go over some setups that we have here on option triggers. Any questions on anything that we've just discussed? Any questions on any of the SPY or the IWM markets do look strong? Okay, this is the resistance right now is the Disney. Okay, Walt Disney right now, what I'm looking at is any move up to 89.80 to 90.89 is good resistance levels. If we connect these lows from May, okay, to the previous lows, what you're doing is you broke that channel, and now what we're looking for is for either the Disney to break above this 90.80 channel or for it to test this cluster here. I think if we test the cluster, I think if we grab the November 22nd puts for a strike of about 85, I think it'll be a good buy zone. I think they're at $1 right now. Okay, so you know, if it does get to $90.80, it'll probably be in the 95 range. So I think that'll be a nice pickup. okay, for a potential move down to 84, okay? Because if the markets start taking a little bit of pressure, we could see these markets pull back, okay? If you notice, back early in October, it hit a low of 78, 79 range. Okay, the Obama scare, okay, the IBB, the biotechs have rallied, okay, but it is about to hit this top of the channel, and I feel that this resistance will not break. Okay, I do believe that there is a trend with Ebola, okay, and pharmaceutical stocks, but at the same point, okay, we have a big resistance line here. If you connect this pivot high to this pivot high, you're about to hit and test this level. If you do reach or break above 293 on 2 consecutive closes, then we'll stop out. I looked at the IBB November 22nd puts. They're about $1.70 to $2 range. So just keep an eye on the IBB. If you guys remember, we had a good trade with the IBB not too long ago. All right. The USO, we're still holding the USO. Well, I am. Okay. I've changed my stop to a close below 3.0 on 2 consecutive closes. I don't think that USO will break below 2.0. I mean, I'm sorry, 3.0. So any move down to 3.0 for traders that haven't gotten into the USO, I think it's a good buy zone. They did hit our target 10. I hit a high of $10.40 for our target 1. We'll move our stops to break even. Okay, so that's with the SWAC. Was a good trade thus far. Okay, and I will be posting scalp trades. Okay, I understand that traders want those scalp trades, and as soon as we hit levels, I will send those out. But you just have to ensure that if you do the scalps or the weekly trades, what you want to do is you want to close out your position for the day or within 2 days, because those weekly scalps do expire pretty fast. So I want traders to understand, if you are going into these weekly scalps, you're taking on a substantial amount of risk. Okay, any questions on any of the options setups that we've just posted? Okay, great. So Tango says no. So we're going to move on. I'm going to go on forward to some of the small caps. Okay, I'm looking at COCO, COCO. You saw this big engulfing candle here. Okay, but I do feel that we're getting to that probability zone from 9 to 11. Okay, you have a bit of a flag pattern here set up. Okay, you got a bullish inside bar here. Okay, so I'm looking for any move down from a kiss of this 10 level. Okay, possibly 9 to 11, and we'll hold above 9 cents on 2 consecutive closes. Okay, I would think this stock would test this 16 level, okay, or this 20 level, and a potential move to this test of this high at 26. Okay, so that's a substantial move there. That's about anywhere from 50 to 200% if it gets back up there. So you want to look at the COCO, and you want to look at the level 2, and you want to see any move down to this support level. Okay. A lot of traders are now moving on to small caps. There was some talks about the OTCs and issues regarding FINRA and SEC regulations. They're trying to hammer on the OTCs. They've been saying this for a while, but till then, okay, we are gonna look at some setups on the small caps. Okay, small caps do require a little bit more liquidity, a little bit more money put into these stocks. So what I would look for here on the COCO is any move back down to this level right here. Okay, that's that support level. You got a bullish inside flag pattern here. So any move down to 9 to 11 would be a good buy zone. Okay, my stop close would be a close below 9 on 2 consecutive closes. Okay, it's looking to test that double bottom again at that $1 range. All right, if it does get down to $1.15, I think that's a good accumulation zone. The Molly Core could potentially retest that $1.30 range, and potentially that target 2 of $1.45, and possibly the 50-day moving average at $1.53. Ultimately, I think that we could see a retest of that $1.60 level. Okay, you're right at that level again. Okay, that dollar to $1.15, $1.17 level is a good buy zone. Okay, I'm pretty much giving you reference points. All right. If the stock gets down to $1.17 or it kisses it, could be a good buy zone. If you want to keep your stops a little bit tighter, $1.15, $1.10. Okay, you can do that as well. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, the next stock is Omex. Okay, the Omex. Okay, right now what I'm looking at is it's holding this trend. Okay, you got higher lows here. If you got a little bit of a topping tail here. Okay, so the traders that got in at $1.23 could sell off, and we could potentially test this 90 range. If we could buy the 95 cents to $1 range, watch that target to $1.10, and watch that target to $1.20. You're talking about 20 to 30% move there, and I think that it would be a pretty good move. Okay, the dry ships, it is trading down at $1.52 now. I think it's still in the buy zones. The stock did pull back to as low as $1. I believe it got down to $1, but it did stop out on us. But it actually hit a high of $2.20, so that was a good trade from. But now it's coming back down. You had a big gap down here, so watch that $1.35 level on the DRYS. It was a very good trade from the time that we sent it out. If you look at the dry ships, we were talking about $1.60, $1.85, and it did hit our target. If you look here, okay, the dry ships hit a high of that $2.20, okay, from that $1.60 move. Did it pull back a little bit? Yeah, but it never closed and confirmed below it. So it was a good trade for the DRYS, the dries. Now watch that double bottom here at $1.30, $1.25. Right, keep DRYS back in the rinse and repeat buy zone areas. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the small caps. Any questions on the small caps? Okay, there is opportunity with the small caps, and with the small caps, you don't have to worry about networking. Usually, these stocks are liquid and they trade on their own. You don't have to worry about any posting and doing all that stuff. So, Sprint. Let me give an update on Sprint. Sprint did give an entry at that $5.80, and it's still trading right now at $6.08. Sprint so far has been a good trade. Okay, it gave an opportunity to enter at $5.80 when 10 trigger. Okay, that was that level. It's still holding that channel, and let's just look at the Sprint here. Let me bring it up. Okay, it still is holding that channel. Okay, so for traders that are holding the Sprint is still holding these channels. Okay, so the Sprint is still an active trade. What we're looking for is that break of $6.30, $6.30, two consecutive close above it. We could test that $6.75 to $7 move. So Sprint is still looking good. Trend channel. Okay, if no questions, I'm going to move on, and we're going to go into the OTC weekly watch list. Okay, so last week was a little bit of a tough week for us on the OTCs. We did send out some stocks. Let me just bring that up. We did send out some stocks that really didn't do well, and there will be times, okay, where we will be in what you call slumps. Okay, the HDSI was a stock that I sent out last week. I noticed that there was some accumulation at this range at 0005. They were buying. RSI was at 9. I felt that this stock would be a MTPR type move. What we noticed was that once that stock was sent out, it hit a high of 0009. Then stocks came out of nowhere. Okay, and that stock ended up pulling back, and now it's at 0003. Okay, it was a little bit hard to stop out of this trade. So I want traders to understand this is the risk that we take as traders. Some guys will quit the service. Okay, we don't do this often, but if you look at here, the probability of that stock dropping below 5 was not as probable as thought. Okay, if you looked at here, the HDSI was at RSI 9, and it just pulled back, and it was just very unexpected. A lot of shares on the HDSI. I think that the HDSI can it potentially move higher, possibly. Okay, it may be a lotto now, but at the same time, I just want traders to understand that this is what the market is. Okay, the market is very unpredictable. As much as we want to set up plays, sometimes that happens. Okay, another stock that we sent out was S4, SFOR. We saw this consolidation here. We thought that the stock could break above this box pattern, which it didn't. More shares came on. Okay, currently the SFOR is trading at 0008, so it did close below 10 on 2 consecutive closes, which makes it a stop. Now what you want to look at, okay, with the SFOR is a 50% retrace. If the stock trades below 10 and cannot hold that 0007 support, watch for the stock to pull back to 5.6. That'll be your 50% retrace level. I think that'll be a good entry on the SFOR. This is not the weekly watch list. These are stocks that were sent out via SMS and also mobile app. So I just want to review them because I don't want traders to think that I've forgotten about them. Okay, it was a tough week for the OTCs entirely. Okay, as a whole. AZFL, okay, it did give it an opportunity to enter at 12. It hit a high, I believe, at 18. Since then, it's pulled back. Now it's trading at 11. I still feel that the stock is trading at support. I think the AZFL is a good buy zone, 9 to 11 buy zones. Okay, watch the AZFL. Okay, the stock has not closed below 10 on 2 consecutive closes. Okay, and a lot of traders have been taking out profits. Okay, 30 to 40%. So there are a lot more profit takers out there. I do believe AZFL with the share structure should see a nice move with any updates and news. Okay, AJAC posted a very nice move. Okay, on AJAC. AJAC rallied from the time that we sent it out. It hit a high of 28. Okay, and since then it's raised authorized shares. Okay, to a good amount. So still a good trade, but now it's pulled back and it may break below it. AJAC is currently trading at 12 and it's holding that 10 support. So it is holding, but again, I believe that shares were increased. Okay, the NBRI. Okay, this was a trade that I thought that 10 support would hold. It didn't. Now it's pulled back to 7 and it's actually on our weekly watch list. So let's go ahead and look at the weekly watch list for this week. Okay, as mentioned, NBRI. Okay, the stock closed below 0.001 when we sent it out on 2 consecutive closes. Since then, okay, it's consolidating from 0005 to 8. Okay, so that's the test that we're looking at. All right, 0005 to 8 is the level of consolidation here. What you're seeing is a little bit of a box pattern with the RSI below 30. Okay. This is a stock that I feel that could make a move. All right, this does have a low share structure. I don't know if it's been updated, if they raised shares, but still the float 106 million. Okay, outstanding shares since August 12, 2014 is about 217 million. Okay, this is a commodities trade. If you look here, okay, the stock is basing now. Okay, like we've seen pincher plays before. Watch for this box zone consolidation and a potential pivot break of 0008. If it does close above 0008, we could see this 13 tested. Okay, so watch the buy zones. If you guys want to put in your bids, 5, 6, be cheap about it, then go ahead and do so. Okay, just ensure that you have your stop close below 5 on 2 consecutive closes, because anything can happen in the market. I sent out last week during the chat room. I felt that the SHOM was a good buy at the 17-18 range. It hit a high of 24. With the breakout of Ebola, I felt that medical stocks would see a nice trend in sympathy to the Ebola scenario. Okay, that stock hit a high of 24, then since then pulled back. A lot of panic traders had bought into 24s and then sold off into the 14 level. Okay, 52-week low currently is at 11. Okay, mental support is at 10. That's why I posted the SHOM at a 000911 buy zone. Okay, I am being cheap, but I do feel that this stock at these levels, 10 to 13, could be a good buy zones as well. Okay, the pivot price on this is 0.0015, 2 consecutive closes. That's 50% above its 52-week low. And what we're looking for is for that 24 mark right here to be broken. If it does, then our next test will be 27 and a potential move up here to 45. It is a low share structure stock, updated since June 30th, 2014, 500 million shares, floats 165 million, outstanding shares is 244 million. Okay, so again, like I've told traders before, okay, we do buy the blood. Okay, right now there's a lot of uncertainty, especially in the OTC markets. Okay, what you want to make sure is that you set your parameters. If you're buying the SHOM, if you're buying the NBRI, just ensure that you're getting into the price that you want to get and you feel fit at getting. Once you get it, feel confident about your position and then set your mental stop. If the stock closes below that mental stop on 2 consecutive closes, you take a small loss. Okay, there's no room for error now. Okay, don't get nervous, don't get panicked. As long as you keep on your setup, on your parameters, it's either you're going to profit or you're going to take a small loss. Okay. Another stock is a pharmaceutical stock. This was formerly FOGC. This is MNZO. Okay, there are some traders that will not be able to trade it. I believe that there is a chill on it, but I still think that this is a good buy zone. Okay, I was monitoring the level 2s on Friday. I was thinking about sending it out. I didn't, but that 0008 looks very, very favorable. Okay, this is the formerly FOGC stock that has recently had its name change and is a post-reverse split. And as many guys know, or as many traders know, after you have a post-reverse split, they tend not to dilute. They tend not to have a big amount of shares on the ask. Okay, so with that said, any buy pressure, okay, we could test these moving average here at 0.003 to 0.004. Okay, this is at probability buy zones at 0008 to 11. Okay, so there is low risk involved. Okay, my pivot price is going to be a price of 15. Okay, we're looking for is 2 closes above this box pattern here at 15, 2 consecutive closes. If it does, then what we're looking for is that break of 0.002 mental resistance, then that 0.003 to 0.004. Ultimately, I would not be surprised for this stock to trade anywhere from 0005 to 9. Okay, you do have a double bottom here. Okay, so I want traders to keep an eye on the MNZO. Okay, authorized shares as of September 29, 2014 are 950 million. Okay, float only 329 million, and a favorable outstanding shares at 388. If you look at here, okay, our date is September 29, 2014, so it is updated. It is a pharmaceutical company, so you have 2 pluses, actually 3 pluses. You got a post-reverse split stock. Okay, the likelihood of them diluting is unlikely. Okay, you have a low share structure. Okay, updated as of September 29, 2014. Okay, it is a new pharmaceutical company in sympathy to what's going on with the Ebola. Okay, another stock is pretty much a pattern trade. Okay, this is a stock that we've traded before at 0006. It hit a high of 44. Okay, now the stock is at its buy zone. Last week we saw a bullish reversal. Okay, it tapped this 0004 level, which makes me believe that the stock is ready for a move higher. Our pivot price here is 0.0011. This is a stock that requires not much movement. Okay, I mean a lot of pressure. It doesn't require a lot of pressure on buying. I think the stock can see a nice move if the stock gets enough buy pressure. Watch for that 11 to break. If it does, then it's 16 to 25 and a potential retest of that 44 level. Okay, this is a commodity stock. Once energy prices start going up, these energy stocks can catch a bid. Okay, so these are your trades for this week. Okay, so I want you guys to watch these. Put these on your level 2s. Okay, don't make no sudden movements. Be patient. Okay, the OTC markets are a little bit lackluster, but with that said, there's always going to be opportunity. All you have to do is just adjust your setups. Okay, let me move on. Any questions on any of the weekly watch lists? I will be reviewing some stocks that I've put that I was thinking about putting on the watch list, and I'm going to go over those now. So if there's no questions, I will be moving along. Okay, so no questions, no questions. Okay, great. Okay, so moving along. Okay, I'm looking at the RSII. Okay, the RSII is awaiting news. They got a couple of restaurants that they are about to update. Okay, they're quick serve pizza places, and if you look here, you have a bit of a channel here, and it's holding. Okay, the stock has been holding these levels. It has not broken this 15 level, which is a good support. My buy zones here would be 14 to 18 with a pivot close above this 100-day moving average at 20. Okay, and a potential retest of this 35.40 level. Okay, so watch the RSII. If the RSII gets down to 14 or maybe kisses it, it could be a good buy zone. Okay, but again, if the stock closes below 14, okay, that's going to be a breach of this support at the bottom of this trend channel, and then it'll probably signal a breakdown down to 10. And your next support would be that mental support at 10. Okay, so I want traders to keep an eye on the RSII. Okay, AZFL. AZFL is still in the buy zones. Okay, the stock has yet to close below 0.001, which is the mental support. I do feel that the stock it can move higher. Okay, if we saw back here, okay, back in September, the stock rallied and it hit a high of 0.005. Okay, so 0.001 right now, and the stock has rallied in the past to 0.005. I like the risk reward there. Okay, another stock that we're checking, the stock broke down a little bit, closed below that 10 mark. Okay, so what we're looking for is that second consecutive day below 10. If it does close, the phono could test that 0.0056. I'm unsure. We're going to monitor it. We're going to look at the level 2, how it looks. But I do think that we got a little bit of a 3-bar drop here. We could see a bit of a reversal. Right now, you're seeing a lot of selling here. But at the same time, you want to look for any keys or any clues for a reversal. If the stock closes above 10 on 2 consecutive closes, it will post a bottom. Okay, and you could test this 21 level right here. And that's that bottom of that Kellner channel. Okay, so keep an eye on that phone to check where that bottom is. Another bottom play is REAC, REAC. Okay, REAC right now is seeing a little bit of selling here. Okay, a big bar here, but RSI right now is at 28.49, which is very oversold. Okay, so I want traders to keep an eye on the REAC. Okay. Okay, the Prowl is a stock that's recently broken this uptrend channel. See, it was in a nice uptrend channel. We told traders to watch that 0.01 level. Okay, that actually triggered. We gave an opportunity to enter that 7-8 range, and now it's trading at 0.021 with a high of 0.22. I'm sorry. So what we're looking now is any retrace okay, or a pullback down to this 0.011 to 0.013, okay, that could continue that uptrend channel. So you could have a scalp opportunity here, okay. And one more stock that I'm looking at, I was thinking about posting it. I want traders to look at the MLC. It is another oversold stock. This stock is consolidating here at bottom. Watch that 14 level hold. If it does not hold, watch that 10 level, that 10, 11, that 9, 10, 11 probability range. That's that mental support. Okay, right now you're seeing some selling. Okay, there are some shares, okay, on this. So let me just... Okay, has three billion authorized shares, so that's something we want to consider. But if you look at the float, it's 14 million, and the outstanding shares is 84 million. So what I want traders to do is just keep an eye on the level 2. Okay, I was monitoring the level 2. It didn't look that bad, but at the same time, you don't know if there's sellers. Okay, yeah. So PGM also said 3 billion AS, and that's one of the reasons I want to let you guys know. So the MLCG, what you want to look at is that level 2. Okay, PGM makes a great point. It's 3 billion authorized shares, but we had another stock that had a huge amount of shares. What was that? I remember Junior. You remember that stock? What was that? The name of that stock that and then it ended up rallying on us, and we just mentioned it on the room, and I forget the name of that stock. Now I'm getting a little bit of a brain fart. No, it was a stock that we mentioned, and then it just rallied the next days. I think it was like it started with a V. There's so many tickers out there, but it had 5 billion authorized shares, and it just was just a great move. I forget the name, but anyway, moving on. That's pretty much the setups for this week. Okay, we did have a tough week last week, and I will be... Okay, so REAC shares outstanding, R&M post 54 million as of October 6, 2014, which is not bad. Authorized shares is 349 million. So REAC does look like, REAC does look like a good candidate for a bottom accumulation, and it is at probability ranges. So it is a low float. REAC just raised to 995 million, which is not much when considering the stock. So that could be baked into the cake already. So the stock has broken down already. So now it's testing the levels. So okay, so PGM says still good. R&M says good to know. I am in for 3 months. REAC, glad to hear it. All right, that's good. So good stuff. That's pretty much it for what I have. You know, I'm going to keep it really short. If you guys have any stocks that you guys want to review, I just want traders to understand that, you know, we're going to have some rough patches, and there's going to be times where it's not going to be as good as we want it to be, but we have to be prepared for that. That's why we adjust into these markets. WTCG is a good stock. Okay. It started making its move last week, and right now, if you're looking at it, it kind of broke a little bit, but it's still at that bottom level. It did break this support, which was holding. So what you want to do, what price was this? This was, okay, this was at 13 level. Okay, so that level was 12. Okay, so what we want to see is for this stock to hold that 10 mental support. If I were buying the WTCG here, I would start bidding 9s and 10s. You know, watch the 9s and 10s. Keep an eye on that 0008 support. If the stock holds, then you can hold the stock. But if the stock breaks below 0009, Okay, then it's going to lose that 10 support, and that'll become resistance. What I usually think of when stocks break that 10 support, I usually look at the 50 retrace level, all right, and that's that 50% retrace level. So WTCG right now is at RSI 30. Okay, so just keep an eye on that support, and I will monitor. I'm actually putting it on my scanner today and I will be monitoring it. If I see that it has a nice support, I will mention it in the chat room, and I'll keep you guys posted. It did have 12 million, volume, and it closed near the low of the day. Okay, the low of the day was 10, and it closed at 11 with a high of 15. So that's something that you guys want to keep an eye on. Okay, you just want to make sure that has enough good amount of support. But it is something that we should look at. Okay, it is a post reverse split, I believe. So I'm not sure that they're gonna. Okay, there you go. That's the one. Junior says VIIC. Okay, and now it's a Q, so it's a bankrupt stock. But yeah, VIIC was a stock that we were talking about, and it looked like it was just beaten down. And then we mentioned, and then the stock ended up rallying, and I believe that it had 5 billion or 10 billion authorized shares, and it still rallied. So just keep that MLCG. If it pulls back to 10, 11, okay, you may have a nice rally in that. And look, Junior even said it hit a high of 0.04, and that was one of the better trades that we've had. So there's always going to be risk in these trades, and I want traders to understand. But if you're getting into a trade and you set your parameter knowing that, okay, there is a risk, it has a high authorized share count, yet it's not really diluting, okay, I don't mind holding, okay, from 10 to 13 or accumulating from that range, because my risk assessment is 30%. If the stock closes below 30%, okay, and I take a 30% loss, then I'm okay with it because I took that risk. Okay, just remember that we're not always going to be pinpoint on these stocks. All right, so I just want traders to understand that concept. If we can grab that concept, you're going to get less emotional with these trades. Okay. So any other stocks? BRNW. Okay, let's take a look at BRNW. Green on. Okay, right now we're seeing a nice little bit of consolidation here. Okay, we got a nice support here. It's held. Okay, you got a little bit of a wedge here. I think it's a good setup. Okay, at some point it's going to consolidate, and it's either going to break this 18 level or it could break this 21 level, and you have a nice amount of upside here. Okay, so you have a nice upside here for the BRNW. So this is one that you guys should keep on radar. Okay, PGM always bringing some solid plays. Okay, I just posted it. Let's take a look at what the BRNW, what it does, any news or anything. So it's mainly on. Okay, your 52-week low is at 14. It's holding that 18 support. Okay, last volume was, or average volume for the last 30 days was 2.8 million. You had a little bit of a volume of 100,000. Okay, Brainy Braun participates across a range of industries by providing development of customized web client server and Windows. Okay, if we come over here, it's located in India, headquartered in India. Okay, it does have a working website. Okay, that's good. Okay, you have filings as of June, and you have a pretty decent, a pretty good share structure. So 500 million authorized shares. You got 91 million float. I think this is a good play for us to keep an eye on. Okay, if we look at the latest news, let's take a look at if they posted the news. Okay, so they are active. September 10th was their last news. Okay, expands product range in the education market. So let's see if there's any clues of any. Infotech Private has recently received an order to customize an integrated fee management application for prestigious schools just outside Delhi, India. Okay, so they have just recently received an order. So let's see if that order gets filled. Securing the demographic dividend published. Okay, the primary and secondary education of K-12. Okay, so September 10, 2014. News, I think it bears to be watched. If we come back and we look at the setup, okay, you got a little bit of a wedge here. You had a move here from this level at 16, okay, to about a high of 50 back in September. So it is a good move. So the high back then was at 0.0049, and you're getting it at a record low. So right here, what you can do is you can see if you can put your buy zones in. Okay, BRNW. If I'm buying this stock, I would look at that 0.0014 to 0.00018. Okay, your pivot price here is going to be that pivot break of 0.0026, which is pretty nice from that low. And then my stop close would be below 0.0014 two times. And then my next support would be that mental support of 0.001. Okay, so I like that setup. I think that was a good trade, PGM. Okay, bottom bully at 0.0012. So what I would want the stock to do though, even I mean you don't want it to break this level here, okay? And that's that 16 level. So this could be a good group play, you know, from the looks of it. I don't know what the level 2 looks like, but if you guys place your bids at 16, hold this 16 level, then what you do is you'll consolidate this until it breaks above that level. So you know, I agree with PGN that bully is at 12, but you want that thing to hold 16, okay? You know, what typically you want for this stock is for it to kiss that 16 level, maybe get some 13s, 14s intraday, and then close it above 16, okay, for that bullish reversal candle. You guys get me? Because you guys want to hold this support level here, okay? You want it to be trading in this wedge here. You don't want to close at 12, okay, or close at 11, because then that'll signal a breakdown below this wedge pattern. You understand what I'm saying? I like how historically the RSI doesn't move much when price moves up in the past potential. Yeah. So that's a good play. Any other stocks you guys want to mention? Okay, so if that's all, I will be up in the morning. Okay, we will have more updates. I will be posting this on video, and I will be posting this up on YouTube. So traders that didn't have the opportunity to get on and to see it, to be able to see it. Okay. So any questions or concerns, just please email me at radiosilentplay@gmail.com or send me a private message on GroupMe or Skype. Okay, and we should be ready to attack these markets, no matter what kind of volume, any situation there are. Okay, remember we're traders, so we adjust to market conditions. Okay, we're not going to complain about bad trades. What we do is we dust ourselves off and we move on to the next trade. Okay, do not let your bad trades hinder your next play. Okay, because once you do that, you know you're pretty much lost. Okay, and PGM has one more. What stock is that, PGM? Elay. Okay, this is a stock that we've traded before. Okay, this is another post-reverse split. Okay, Elay away. Okay, these are good stocks Okay, especially now that they're kind of bottomed. Okay, I'm not sure what kind of level 2 we have here, but I do like it. Okay, right now we're trading below that 13, so which makes that 13 pivot. Okay, watch that support. Okay, it is a post reverse split, so um, I think it's at a good buy zone, and you have upside potential to 22 to 24. Okay, so you don't have that much resistance. So if you can see what type of a level 2, okay, it has. Okay, depending if there's a big spread, then it's gonna be a problem. But if you have a little bit of if you have a good amount of support and a pretty much tight level 2, I think it could be a good buy zone from 10 to 13. Okay, what you want to see the stock do is close above 13, and then you have upside all the way up to 22, 24. So I think this could be a good buy zone. This thing did have a 2-bar drop. I would have liked a 3-bar drop for a bottom confirmation, but just watch the levels here. Okay, if the stock can hold that 0008, 9, 10 level, okay, above 13. So there was a filing that came out after hours, some small dilution coming, but looks cheap for shares. Okay, so it bears watching. Okay, PGM just said they had filings. Okay, they could have some bit of dilution, so it could be a quick trade. But I will put ELA on the watch list, and I will be monitoring the ELA as well. Okay, so pretty good trades here. You had the WTCG, the BRNW, the MLCG, and the ELA. Okay, these are stocks to watch. And we're not done with the Liga, LIGA. I think LIGA does have room for a bounce. Okay, LIGA is another stock that I think that has room for a bounce. So we're not done here. We have yet to stop out. Okay, so I want traders to understand we have not stopped out at the Liga trade. Okay, what we want the stock to do is to consolidate and hold above this 10 level. Okay, so that's for the Liga. Okay, what's another one? I think Junior last week posted a nice trade on the LXG, okay, which was a good move. Okay, he caught that bottom. I think he mentioned it at that 0.004 range. Okay, now watch that consolidation above this 20-day moving average. Okay, it was a nice little move here. What you want to do here is check for that bottom. Okay, any retrace level back to this 0.0041 to 0.0045 on the LXG may be a good buy zone. So just keep an eye on the LXG. Okay, so that's pretty much it for me. Okay, I will have updates next week, and I will be on and to make sure that you guys are on track. Again, any questions, just email me at radiosilentplay@gmail.com. And I thank everyone for their loyal support and joining us tonight. Okay, have a good night, everyone.